Some big news this morning on the COVID vaccine. There's a new study out, and it suggests that both Pfizer and Moderna's vaccines might just provide protection that lasts for years.
So we are happy to be joined by Dr. Richard Novak from UIC, who ran one of the first vaccine studies right here in Chicago. Good morning to you, Dr. Novak. Always a pleasure to have you. There were a lot of questions about how long the vaccines would last. And now we're hearing that maybe they're going to last longer than we thought. What's your reaction to that, and what do you know?
Well, that study is it's a laboratory-based study. They demonstrated that some of the people who got vaccinated, they tested their lymph nodes and found that they have memory cells that make antibodies to the vaccine, which you'd expect, of course. And then there are substantial numbers, and enough so that it's expected you would continue to make antibodies. And definitely, that's the way the immune system works. You make initial amounts of antibodies that circulate in the blood, and then your body doesn't keep making antibodies because it would be inefficient if it's not exposed to a virus. But you retain this memory capacity if you see the virus again or the bacteria or whatever, that you start making antibodies again. And that's what they demonstrated. So it's certainly encouraging. It's not proof positive that we'll have long-lasting immunity, but it's certainly encouraging.
Well, it's encouraging, especially at a time, Doctor, let's face it, we are now being confronted with this issue of the Delta variant. It seems to be popping up everywhere. We know in Los Angeles County, one of the biggest counties in the country, they're even asking fully vaccinated people to wear masks indoors. So what do you want people to know, people like myself who've been fully vaccinated, who are now being told, hey, wait a minute, maybe you're not as well off as you thought you were?
Well, I mean, the good news is the vaccines do work against the Delta variant. And so you are protected. That means that you're not going to get seriously ill if you encounter this Delta variant. You might get a mild illness, or you might be asymptomatic and still have the infection. And so the danger of that is that you'll be shedding virus. And the biggest problem is for people who are not vaccinated. There's a danger because still a substantial percentage of the U.S. population, particularly young people and children, are not vaccinated. And so this virus is much more contagious, and it may cause more severe disease. We're not sure about that yet, but it's definitely more contagious. And so people who are not vaccinated are going to get this virus, and they're going to get it quickly. So in areas of the country where there's relatively little vaccination going on, and the population is not vaccinated, they're going to experience outbreaks of this particular variant.
Let's talk about the vaccines, because we keep hearing about Moderna and Pfizer being the ones that will have the long-lasting effect. We haven't heard anything about Johnson & Johnson. Is that because it hasn't been tested? I know it's a different mechanism, but why are we not hearing the same about the effects of the Johnson & Johnson long-lasting?
It's because we don't have information yet about it. It's quite likely, though, that Johnson & Johnson may have to go to a second dose of vaccine. The jury's still out on that. They have done studies with 2 doses. They haven't reported on it yet. So we'll see if the immunity from the Johnson & Johnson vaccine is enough to protect against this variant, but they haven't reported it.
We know that there is a strong push to get people around the world vaccinated, especially in countries where vaccines are not as readily available as they are here. I bring it up because now there's talk that potentially we could mix the vaccines, maybe a Pfizer for the first shot and a Moderna for the second. Is it too soon to look at that optimistically? Do we have enough information to talk about mixing?
Well, there are some studies looking at mixing, particularly in Europe, because they started with the AstraZeneca vaccine, and they've done studies looking at the AstraZeneca followed by the Pfizer vaccine, and that looks really good, actually. And they looked at it the opposite way, starting with Pfizer and then giving the AstraZeneca. Doesn't look quite as good, but actually looked better than giving AstraZeneca as 2 doses. So we're starting to get information about mixing, and the biggest issues I think are going to be safety, but the immunogenicity seems to be quite good, and that probably to get everybody vaccinated, we're going to need to be able to mix vaccines.
Yeah, we
'cause,
are still.
you're going to have to take what's available.
Yeah, we're still learning so much about this. Dr. Richard Novak, UIC, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Always a pleasure.
My pleasure.
Good to see you.